Choconnichi, wow, bitches! Oh god, it's been so long, and my hold up, my mouse not working. Hold up. There we go. Choconnichi, wow, bitches! Flavors forgetful fighting fanatic. Emphasis on forgetful. Holy shit. Choco Minato signing on. Morning. I wanted to do this stream last night, but then I didn't. But I actually wanted to do the stream the day after Evo, and then I didn't. Hold up. Oh, like Choco Me not on time-o. Alright, that's pretty good. You know, one serving of Bob Onigiri provides 100% your daily recommended dose of speed and weight. Oh, I'll be going through all the trailers. Also, Splats, don't think I didn't catch your jab about Bob earlier. If you were smart, if you had good eyes, you would actually see that Bob was on the... Actually, I'll pull up the thumbnail. Bob actually shows up twice in the, on the, thumbnail. Hold on, let me pull it up. Oh god, it's early and it's still so fucking hot, Jesus Christ. Okay, oh, where is it? Thumbnails. Okay, let's see. I mean, I could use that. You know, yeah, I'll use it. Hold on, I'll use this one. Name thumbnails, go to here. Hopefully this will not, okay, never. Oh. Yep, we're under heat dome. We'll couple 5 a.m. to put the dogs out in a minute. Oh yeah, fuck, it sucks, bro. So, so if you notice, pay attention. First of all, you'll notice, number one, Bob's Onigiri shows up right here. Shows up right there. That's number one. And number two, if you look here, right Evo, right under the logo, you can see Bob right there with his bigger than ever hat. So fuck you, Splats. Bob shows up twice. I mentioned this briefly before the stream started, like an hour ago, because Malone sent a message and I heard it because my TTS is still on. So even though the stream wasn't live, I still heard it on my TTS about the about this fucking thumbnail. And again, let me tell you, when it was 2 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, this was the funniest shit in the world. And then when I saw it, when I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh fuck, there's no joke here. This is just fucking stupid. There's no joke here. I don't have enough time to remake it. Fuck it. This is what I'm using. I don't know what headspace I was in that made me make this, but whatever, it exists now. Okay, but in case any of y'all got some shit to do and you don't want to hang around for like 4 hours while I meticulously go through a bunch of trailers that nobody cares about. Here's the basic rundown. Everyone will get it. Well, here's the thing. I never actually read Control-Alt-Delete. So, I don't even get it. I know the meme, like, you heard about video games and there's that picture of the guy. I've never actually read that webcomic, so I don't even know what the joke is. Okay, so I'm gonna meticulously go through all these right now, just so that you can get your basic info and leave. Okay, so right here, King and Yuri are being added to Art of Fighting 3. Now, do I want to explain this? Do I want to explain this? No, I'll save that for when I actually get to it. So, right away, King and Yuri are being retroactively added to Art of Fighting 3, like 30 years later. So that's pretty fucking cool. On the top left here, we have Roofamonger looking a little bit concerned for reasons that will become extremely evident when I get to it. Down here, Evo logo, Bob's bigger than ever hat. Down here we have Man of the Azure, which is a fake leak that was for Guilty Gear Strive that was going to add Ragna to Guilty Gear Strive. That it was a fucking hoax. I'm glad it was a fucking hoax. Holy shit, I would be so fucking pissed boilingly mad if Ragna was in Strive. Okay, and then under that we have the Bakuniwa Killer that I'm covering his head because it's supposed to be a mystery who he is. Ooh. It is very clearly Lei Fei. Although some Sega snoops have are making speculations that it's actually going to be Lan Di from Shenmue, which would be an amazing pull due to the shared history of Virtua Fighter and Shenmue. I don't think it's Lan Di, but it would be really fucking funny if it was. Okay, this in the background, this girl, this artwork, this is of Minato, no relation, who is a character that was going to be added to Dead or Alive 6 last round. There was no gameplay trailer, all we have is concept art, so there's that. We don't know literally anything about this character other than that she has a bit of a Gyaru fashion, because she has like the leg warmers and shit, but that's really it. That's all we got. She's a schoolgirl. Her name's Minato. That's it. She may or may not be a character from the latest Dead or Alive Extreme games. I don't know. That would be a good pull, because Venus Vacation has like, I think at this point 20 characters that are unique to that entire spin-off itself, and they could easily be added into Dead or Alive because they've done it before. The new girl Tamaki or some shit. The fucking Aikijujutsu girl that was added in DOA 6. She's from Dead or Alive Extreme. Lisa Hamilton, the brown girl that does capoeira / lucha libre, that was introduced in Dead or Alive Extreme before she was in Dead or Alive 4. So it's not like Tecmo hasn't pulled characters from DOA Extreme into the mainline games. Well, I guess at this point, the Extreme games are more like the mainline games at this point because they're more well known and they make way more money for Tecmo. So who knows? Ugh. Okay, Evo logo, Bob's fat head. Down here, right down there, you can see Lux. I don't know anything about League of Legends, but Lux was added, so that's neat, I guess. But I do know about Samira the Desert Rose because, as he has been explained to me, Samira is literally just Dante. Like, literally just Dante in League of Legends. So, fuck me, I might actually have to download 2XKO and try her out. Because I want to see what they do with a Dante-style character. Okay. Over here, Bob's Onigiri LED over here. Shutting that off. And right here next to that is Lin Kurosawa, which technically had nothing to do with Evo, but for, I don't know, Splash, you might know this. There is a fan game right now, Sega versus Capcom, that's been in development for what feels like about a year and a half, at least since I've known about it. It's been making steady progress, and it has been making some fucking pulls for the character roster. And right here we have Lin Kurosawa. And there was another trailer that was the day of, where like, oh, 2 more characters were added, but I haven't actually seen the trailer yet, so I don't know who's in there. And here on the top right, we have fucking King of Fighters 15 getting an update on July 2nd, which is today. So, alright, so this KOF 15 update, and also this right here of King and Yuri getting retroactively added to Art of Fighting 3 like 30 years later, This is proof. This is proof to me that whatever fucking Saudi oil prince that owns the company that owns the company that owns the company that owns SNK is just a legitimate fan of SNK. Cause you don't do this for like you don't do this for an IP you don't care about, right? Like I remember uh when Honey the cat was being retroactively added to Sonic the Fighters and how big of a deal that was. And now this is just kind of like becoming a normal thing. We're like, yeah, this old game, we're just adding new shit to it. Fucking Capcom adding in the PSP characters in Alpha 3 to the Capcom Fighters collection and shit. Like I'm I all I can say right now is that I do hope that because okay, like I said, thing like the King definitely is going to be a 100% new sprite. Yuri was in Art of Fighting 3 as an NPC, but she has a sprite sheet. You can see her. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that Yuri isn't wearing her casual outfit that she wears in that game in Art of Fighting 3. Like, I guess I could. Well, I'll say that for the trailer, but I'm hoping that the new sprites don't clash with the art style of Art of Fighting 3, because Art of Fighting 3 has a very particular art style because it's all the sprites were rotoscoped at the time when like doing sprite rotoscopes for like 2D video games was like a flex. And going back to make new sprites for the game, I'm worried that they're just gonna take like old KOF sprites or old Art of Fighting sprites and just shade them differently so that they look more similar to Art of Fighting and not actually rotoscoping the new sprites. It's like, I don't know, man. I also am a bit disappointed that, like, yeah, no, they these are the Art of Fighting. I mean, King looks like her Art of Fighting 1 counterpart, and Yuri looks like her Art of Fighting 2 counterpart. Like, they're wearing the same exact outfit, despite the fact that Art of Fighting 3 was meant to be a whatever. It's fine. Just be being an old man complaining about things, but it's cool as hell. Uh, I would have preferred, I personally would have preferred a gameplay update to Art of Fighting 3, because I do like the game a lot, but that game feels clinky as shit, which makes sense for the time period it came in. But I've always thought that Art of Fighting needed like 6 more months in the oven to like really nail the feel of the gameplay before it was released, and that just didn't happen. And then the series was shelved because it never made as much money as King of Fighters did. So it was a smart business decision to get rid of Art of Fighting. But Art of Fighting has a soft. Art of Fighting 3 specifically has a really soft spot in my heart. Just catching up to the know by Sega versus Capcom. Okay, well, stick around because I'm gonna tell you about it. Or at least what little I know about it. I haven't actually been paying that much attention to Sega vs. Capcom other than the fact that it exists, but I don't know like the history behind the developers or anything like that. That one's where is there? This? Oh god, the bots. Hold up. Okay, hold up. I gotta slay some bots. Ba, 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 ba. Uh. Okay, hold up. Ban. Okay, new keyword to add to auto mod. Okay, let's see. Mod actions. Wait, how do I do this again? Oh, it's been a while. Chat session, channel, stream preview activity. Oh, that's something else. Never mind. How do I add shit to my? What up? Muted user. I don't remember how to use Kix UI. You know what? I'll figure it out later. Actually, I've been told that it's better to mute bots than it is to ban them, because a muted bot doesn't know that it's muted. So I guess I should do that. Although it doesn't get rid of the it doesn't get rid of the shit on my castle labs though. Hold up a second. What if I go here and it refreshes? Okay, no, it still does that. Okay. Oh! I've been logged out of kick. Hold on. And counts. Good. Konekuto. Window. Alright. That would be the only problem. Yeah. Yeah, but looking at it though. I mean, I could probably go back to Streamlabs, honestly, but I do like Castle Labs because it's not as resource intensive. So, but I still would like to. Wait, what the hell? Wait a minute, hold up. Okay, nothing. My eyes are being tricked to me. I thought I saw something in it. Okay, that was something else. Okay, never mind. Okay, what am I talking? Okay, so here's a question. Should I talk about the announcements first, or should I talk about, like, actual Evo? I did not plan this out very well. I mean, I guess on the very basic level, I could talk about a couple of things. Oh, do I have the avatar thing? I should have done that right before I went to bed last night. Okay, I do. I do have the avatar thing. Okay, I can save that for later. Okay, so, oh, I forgot to put avatar in the thumbnail. Ah, fuck. Okay, okay, so Evo. So Evo kind of went through a vibe shift this year, right? Because the Saudi my stream said what I want to talk about more. Than colon P. Alright. Alright. Asshole. Okay, so Evo today kind of had a vibe shift compared to last. Okay, there have been a couple of vibe shifts throughout Evo. I mean, the core values thing I could talk about during the Dead or Alive segment, because that's when it really started to kick off. But Evo, as it's gone throughout the years, has become more and more of a convention rather than a tournament. And it started off as like a tournament, and it became more and more of a convention as it got bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And as it, became, a fucking big an annual Vegas event, it became basically more of a convention, right? And so there's always that like push and pull between like, okay, how much do you want to keep this, finger quotes grassroots fighting game tournament to convention to like what the what's it called, the seesaw between like a grassroots tournament and like a esports convention. And it leans more towards esports every year because that's where the money is. A lot of us fighting game, a lot of the FGC is fucking broke. All right, called poverty fighters for a reason. Okay, so the balance shifts more towards esports every year because that's where the fucking money is, right? So this year, the what's it called? Kitty. Hold on a second. What's it called? Yeah, Kitty. The Kitty investment company, in Saudi Arabia, right? They now own Evo. They've owned Evo for like a couple of years now, right? But because they because the Evo brand was in dire straits when Mr. Wizard, who was the previous I don't remember if he was. I forget what his specific role when it came to Evo was, but he was outed out as fucking pred. He was outed as a goddamn pred, immediately fired, and the brand of Evo was in fucking free fall for a couple of months. And they're like, okay, we need to get some money in. We need to get like some new guys in. Like, just there was a massive management shift that happened throughout the course of the last like around 4 or 5 years. Because then Evo was temporarily owned by Sony for a little bit, like actual fucking Sony, and then Kidia bought the rights from Sony, and now it's owned by Kidia, right? That is the basic rundown of this. And since Kidia it really started with Sony. Well, because under Sony management, there was starting Evo Japan, which was like the big thing. Like, yeah, Evo will be a event that takes place twice a year, once in America in Vegas, and the second in Japan. That was going to be the big thing, right? Evo's going to be a thing that's twice a year, which made sense, right? Because there's a lot of killers in Japan that don't travel. Everybody that's ever been to a Japanese arcade can tell you the story of the salaryman. After 5 shows up in the cabinet, unfastens his tie, puts some Asahi Dry on the cabinet, and he stays on that cabinet for like 4 hours, killing everybody. Then he walks up, picks up his briefcase and leaves. Everybody has a story. Everybody that's been to a Japanese arcade can tell a story about that guy. So having Evo Japan leads to a lot of good things, right? There's a lot of games. I've talked about regional games all the time. Like Virtua Fighter is like a Japanese fucking game. They are unbeatable in that. Most games really are Japanese games because the people that are like hardcores of those games are like at a super high level because they play each other all the fucking time. And unlike America's, where like we kind of like to high tech. I mean that changed throughout the past like decade, but like we used to like high tech for each other because like save that shit for nationals. They're like, no, here's how to beat me. I want you to become stronger. Like we want, like it was more like a grow stronger together, right? Instead of like I pull up the ladder, I got my fuck all y'all. A different mentality, right? That led to stronger play bases, right? But again, right. So Evo Japan was a good idea, right? You got to see the sickest Virtua Fighter. You gotta see Hokuto no Ken, right? You like regional, and the thing that I really want for these regional Evos is that I want the games to be regional as well. I'm okay. I'm jumping all over the place. Okay, Kidia owns Evo. Since they've owned Evo, they've made some changes. Number one is that they've added another Evo to the yearly lineup. So now instead of Evo America, well, Evo Vegas and Evo Japan, there's also a third one. Last year was Evo France, and well, actually, they're doing Evo France now, and then there's going to be another one. Like you're trying to hold up, Evo. What? How do I look this up? Evo lineup. How do I look this up here? Evo. Hold up. Evolution. I guess I could put this up on screen. It's fine. How do I look this up here? Evolution in ship. I guess I could start with evo.gg, right? So, what's here? Evo events. So Evo Japan, Evo France, Evo Singapore. Like every year they're just adding another one. I remember there was like a maybe I was wrong, but I remember that there was like a roadmap for like, yeah, here's where we're gonna have Evo for like the next like 3 years or something. And anyway, everybody's like being like, okay, when's gonna be Evo Saudi Arabia? We know you're gonna do it, right? So that's like people are waiting on that. Yeah. So like they're now adding another Evo, so now it's gonna be happening 3 times a year instead of 2. Evo France is gonna be happening fucking the beginning of October, right? We just finished Evo Vegas. Get ready in 4 months. Three, yeah, in 3 months. Get ready for another one, right? And like they ain't fucking slick about this, right? This idea, I mean, you call it sports watching or whatever, but like it's very obvious that under this new management of Kidia, they're trying to make Evo like the only super major for fighting games. Because what this, I felt like they're losing the brand. Yeah, no, that was a conversation that was had like last year about they're fucking what was it, the legacy of Evo? I forget. Well, it was like the legacy of Evo or like the prestige. People were talking about, oh, this dilutes the prestige of Evo. And a lot of the upper tournament players are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because they don't care, because this is their fucking job. They're used to this. More tournaments means more money, right? So, you know. There was this whole like prestige of Evo thing kind of ended up kind of becoming like a class divide, honestly. It like if you were above a certain tax bracket, you just didn't really care all that much. But you know, whatever that happens sometimes too, right? Anyway, I'm trying to make it like a World Cup or like a video game Olympics. So I want to say yes, but at the same time, Evo, the prestige of Evo in and of itself, has kind of diluted by itself because every major publisher that makes fighting games has their own tournament series for their own games. Right? There's the Arc System Works World Tour. There's the SNK. I mean, there's Capcom Cup that does Street Fighter. There's the Arc World. Is Arc World Tour? I think it's Arc World Tour. Yeah, the Arc System Works World Tour for like Guilty Gear, right? Guilty Gear and Grand Blue and shit. Guilty Gear, Grand Blue, Under Night, right? There's SNK. What was it called? Was it SNK World Championship? Something. I think it was SNK World Championship. I forget. Yeah, SNK World Championships. And then Capcom has its own thing for just Street Fighter called the World, literally called the World Warrior, right? Which, by the way, excellent branding. I'm shocked that it took them this long. Oh yeah, the Capcom Pro Tour as well. But yeah, the World Warrior is the regional tournaments that get fed into the Capcom Pro Tour. That gets fed into Capcom Cup. Okay, so right, okay, right. Yeah, so basically every major fighting game publisher has their own exclusive tournaments now. So, which also dilutes the idea of like these independently run like fighting game majors. Because why would you want to go to like, because like if you're super hardcore in like say Street Fighter or something, why would you want to go to like an Evo or a Combo Breaker, a final round when you can go to the fucking the Capcom hosted, Capcom presented Capcom Pro Tour, right? This is going to make these fighting game companies change the timings of their big announcements between more Evos and big game shows. Yeah. So here's the thing about that, actually. Like, yes, Evo has big announcements because it's kind of like a trend where major publishers show off their cool fighting game stuff at Evo. But even then, that leads to a different problem because, like, yeah, sure, there's gonna be a massive pop when you saw your announcement at Evo, but taking a page from Sega, the only people that will be interested in this are people that are already into fighting games. If you want your fighting game to blow up massively, and you are targeting people, you will want to target people that are not already into fighting games. Because by making a fighting game, you already have those people. You want to target people that are outside of fighting games, which is why Sega were making their big Virtua Fighter trailer. They were saving that for like TGS and shit, saving that for E3, or not E3. What's it called? The the Game Awards, right? Sega had their big Virtua Fighter trailer at the Game Awards and not Evo because you want your game to be seen by more people. And if you want to be the #1 fighting game in the world, you're going to want to target people that do not already play fighting games, that are already not in that in that market. So, and some games could do that. Like I think Capcom and Sega could genuinely do it, and everyone else has to stick by Evo and stuff. But let's talk about what's to talk about? Fuck. Right, regional tournaments. So okay, so back to let me go back to Evo. So back to Evo. Under new management Evo. By the Saudi crown prince that I don't care about. So this is leading to I forget the term I'm looking for, but it's very obvious that this new management is literally trying to choke out like independently run tournaments. Because first of all, by making Evo, the big fighting game tournament that even normies know about, fucking Evo, by having that happen 3 times a year, that already disincentivize. Is that the word? Disincentivize. It discourages people from going to other independently run tournaments because why go to those? We can go to Evo, go to the big one. And hey, look, Evo France, Evo Singapore. You can go on a vacation. You could plan your whole vacation around this huge tournament, right? Also, it also leads to hold up. Do they have the thing here? Hold up a second. Please be here. News. Do they have it? Do they have it? Viewer's guide. Evo and Visa. Oh yeah, that was one of the big things. Is that they partnered up with Visa to bring more people. Because they're doing globe-trotting tours now, so it's like, yeah, we're partnering up with Visa and shit. That's not what I wanted to talk about. They not have it? Hold up a second. Evo locals. Yeah, here we go. Evo are now giving out grants to local tournaments that have like attendances of like over 100 people. Which, by the way, that's like a very small number of locals. By the way, most locals do not get hundreds of people, so that's number one. But also, you can see that they are really trying to choke out like almost all of the. They're trying to choke out locals now, right? By putting them under by giving grants and shit. Like it's because when this whole thing started, when this whole like new management started, like with Sony and Kidia, people are like, it's important to support your locals because once the Saudis get bored of this event and they just pull the funding, or like they pull funding because it's not making as much money as we're putting into it, or like whatever, like when it becomes clear that this whole fighting game shit is unsustainable and they pull out all their money, all you are going to have left are locals. So support your locals while you still got them. And this year, their Evo's like, yeah, also we're going to be funding locals now. So it's like, fucking hell. How do I phrase this? Much like, I view this in the same way I view the AAA gaming market, of like, this shit is very clearly unsustainable, and when it inevitably crashes and burns all around me, I could say, not only did I see this coming, I also could say confidently that I don't care, because the games that I like, the people that I like, the games that I play will not change. So, the crash can come. It's not going to affect me at all. And I understand how selfish and self-centered and even defeatist that sounds, but with the right fighting game, this could explode. But at the same time, this could be a bubble that could pop. Oh yeah, no, this is definitely gonna pop. Uh, it's musical terms, literal world warriors. Yeah, literal world warriors. What the advertisement had fucking I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, Daigo puts his name and face to a lot of things, but like, it was a thing. It was about Daigo, and he was talking to Pururu, which is one of the VTubers that I think is part of Good 8, which is a Japanese team of like pro play. Like, I cannot properly explain to you how insane Street Fighter 6's success has been in Japan, very specifically Japan. Like, Splats, you might know this. You had to have been around during like the Street Fighter 2 explosion of how that game took over the entire fucking world for like a couple of years. That success that Street Fighter 2 had has been isolated and compressed to Japan. Is how I could say this. Like, the insane level of success that Street Fighter 6 had in Japan is the equivalent to what Street Fighter 2 was like everywhere else. It is insane. And Capcom are like really trying to fucking milk them, and it's working. Much to the anger of everybody else, because the big thing about Capcom Cup this year was that, oh yeah, no, you're not allowed to restream Capcom Cup. Fuck you. If you want to watch Capcom Cup, not only do you have to pay us to have a license to view the stream, but also you cannot restream it. Which is unchecked levels of greed, because Capcom Cup was a free event for like the last 10 fucking years. So yeah, hold on, I need to get. Can I do this from here? Come on, damn it! Okay, so whenever I try to delete a message on Kick in the Caster Labs app on my dashboard on my desktop, it just logs me out of Kick. So I can't actually. That's okay. Hold up. I need to log back in. Okay, so yeah, but no. Street Fighter 6, the success in Street Fighter 6 is absolutely unprecedented. It's fucking insane. Took everybody by surprise, including Capcom. But again, I'm no fucking marketician. I don't know nothing about no business. I know greed. And I do know that this shit is unsustainable. Like, people were complaining earlier today, or rather, when the Evo, when the numbers, the attendance numbers, the signups, when people are talking about the game signups and how the game signups for Evo this year were drastically lower than last year. And that's because, well, one, shit got more expensive. So shit got way more expensive. So it's like, yeah, no, I can't afford to go to Vegas for a weekend than to go to this second game tournament. If I'm going to be saving my money to go to Evo, I might as well go to one of the abroad ones, because it's cheaper and I can plan a vacation around it, right? So Evo Vegas, the home, I mean, to be fair, Evo didn't really start in Vegas, started in Mandalay Bay, but you know, the origin point of Evo is also is also being slowly choked out, but that's more of like a Vegas thing. But so it's like, okay, would people still want to go to Evo America if it was not in Vegas after it's been in Vegas for so long? And I would be like, yeah, but at the same time, I think a lot of the reasons why people would want to go to Evo is because it's in fucking Vegas. So it's like, fuck it, what are you doing? What do you do now? What do you do, man? Alright, yeah, but no, Kiria management, it is working to systematically basically choke out every other fighting game tournament. And I don't think people are going to really understand how bad this shit about Evo funding grants for locals. I don't think people are really going to understand how bad this shit is really going to get until, like, depending on how well this takes off, I'd say either like next year or 2 years. If fucking hell, Evo even is even still around at that point, like, uh, I don't know, man. And again, this is, and again, I talk a lot about like how all of this is being propped up by Street Fighter 6's success. Like, yeah, it's massively explosively popular in Japan, but like, I've said it before. I said this a million times that the entire genre of fighting games right now is resting on the laurels of Street Fighter 6. If Street Fighter 6 and Street Fighter 6 is an ice sculpture of a game where any minor change could fracture the entire thing. If Street Fighter ever slips up, missteps, if it gets a little bit too hot and the ice starts to melt, it's taking the entire genre with it. Unquestionably. But while it's still here, I mean, get in while the getting's good, I guess. I don't know, man. And like I said, the industry can crash entirely tomorrow and it would not affect me at all. I mean, it might affect some tournaments I watch because this tournament and can't afford to do its thing, but like people will make their own. People will do online. People will go back to doing online tournaments. Although, yeah, the best 5K indeed does survive. Yes. Okay, so with that depressing shit out the way, of like, yeah, no, fighting games are about to go through a seismic change that could do irreparable damage to the entire industry, but anyway, who wants to see some fucking trailers? Okay, hold up a second. Do I have up? This is up. This should work. Okay. Okay, off the rip. I guess I could do this in the order by which I downloaded these trailers. So let's start with Tekken. Please work. Excellent, nice. So starting off. I mean, actually, you know what? I'm already here. So starting off, Tekken Bob trailer has been released. Good old Robert Richards, the fat guy. I like Bob. He's cool. I'll let trailer play out. Do I have the button? I have the button. Okay.
Hunger's the root cause of conflict. Join me, and we'll feed the world.
Okay. So right off the bat, why is he doing Terry shit? I'm not upset. I'm asking questions. Why is he doing the Terry? Okay. Like, he didn't throw off the hat, but that is the exact pose. He's got the stars. He's got the his hand. Yeah, no. The pose, the hand, like, this is Terry's win pose. Why is he doing Terry shit? I'm not complaining. It's just like, it just came out of nowhere. Like, are Namco gonna try and do something with SNK? Like, because we do know that the dev team, they all talk to each other. So like, is Namco plotting something here with SNK? Let me hold up a second. He's doing it because it's hilarious. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I think Namco and SNK are in talks for something. Like, I don't know. Because here's the thing. Terry has shown up as like the de facto SNK guest character for a while now. Like he was in. I mean, yeah, he's in Street Fighter 6. He was in Fighting EX Layer. Like Terry, like SNK has been really putting. He's in Smash. Terry has SNK has been putting out Terry specifically as like the SNK guest character. So like could this could mean something. I don't think that something like this was made out of nowhere. Because even like this is like very specifically like. Oh, edit. Choconnichi wa, bitch. Hi, edit. How you doing? I'm going to be spending this entire stream talking about Evo and fighting games and doing react slop for fighting game trailers. Welcome. Feel free to pass out because this shit's going to be real interesting if you don't care about fighting games. Or rather, this isn't going to be interesting if you don't care about fighting games. Anyway, I stopped the trailer for this Tekken character like 10 seconds in because he's doing a homage to a fighting game. A different fighting game. Hell, let me pull it up actually. Terry Bogard. Yeah, catch you later, edit. Terry Bogard. Okay, if you don't know why I'm. Alright, hold a second. Because I'm explaining what's going on here, but I need some visual. I need a visual aid. Give me a second here. Because I figured, oh yeah, everybody knows about Terry Bogard, despite the fact that when he was revealed for Smash, everyone was talking about like, who the fuck is this Terry guy? It's Pokemon, it's about Pokemon trainer and shit. So, let me get an image. All right, let me get a video actually. Evolution of Terry victory. You know what? Sure. I'll show off a 11-minute video of Terry throwing his hat. All right, give me a second here. Actually, I could just minimize this. Okay, so here we have the man, the meme, Terry Bogard. Now, I could talk about Terry. I could actually talk for about probably 20 minutes about the evolution of Terry throwing his hat, but that's a different fucking stream. So let me go to what's a good one. Smash is a good one. Actually, Smash should be in here. Oh, they're not properly labeled. Great. That's awesome. That's perfect. Hey, look, there's Kid Rock, or rather, Child Rock. Whatever. So you see what I mean here. Okay! Right? Quite possibly Terry's most iconic pose. Fucking throws the hat in victory, back to the camera with the star on the vest and everything. And then, right here, Bob doing the same thing with the okay! Although he doesn't say it with enough gusto. Like, come on, like, Patrick Seitz, you surely should have known the assignment.
Join me. And
also, he doesn't throw the hat.
we'll
I don't know
feed
if that's
the
enough.
world. Okay.
Okay, right? So, very obvious Terry Bogard reference. Why is that there? I think Namco is cooking up something with SNK. Now, that's not saying, oh, it's going to be a fucking crossover, but like SNK, I mean, Namco did work with SNK to put Geese Howard in Tekken 7. So, maybe they're getting into talks again. Maybe Terry's gonna be in Tekken 8. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. Although, I'd like to keep the theme of, like, villains / bad fathers for guest characters in Tekken. Despite the fact that I hate guest characters, but if they were to put a guest character, I would. I mean, the obvious one is like, oh, you put in Geese. Alright, next, Krauser. Like, obviously, like, oh, yeah, put in Krauser, but, like, I don't know. There's not a lot of, like, I don't know, there's not a lot of, like, bad dads in SNK games. Like, yeah, Geese. Silver, I guess, but, like, who the fuck knows about Bariki 1, right? That's a, whatever. Anyway, Bob, Good old Robert Richards. I also particularly love, by the way, that the music being played during his trailer is Splashing Casino. Splashing Casino from Tekken 6, because Bob was introduced in Tekken 6. So they're playing a Tekken 6 song. Very nice. I like it. Anyway, I'm playing the trailer again. Or rather, playing the beginning of the trailer.
Hunger's the root cause of conflict. Join me, and we'll feed the world.
Get ready for the next battle.
Speed and weight.
Turn 8. New challenger.
The hero has arrived.
Hold on, let me look at that. Let me look at that skate deck.
The hero.
Okay, it's a B. USA, it's a Hornet with a fork and Bob Onigiri sticker. You know what? That's a pretty good skate deck. That ain't too bad. I don't know what the deal with the skateboard is. Like, Bob never had a skateboard. Like, they keep adding gimmicks to Bob. Like, character gimmicks, like the skateboard, the whole, like, Toku Hero, like, speed and weight thing. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just weird. Like, throughout the course of, like, 3 games, you see Bob go from, like, self-serious guy to fucking, like, comedy character throughout the course of 3 games. Really 2.5, if you want to count. I mean, if you want to count Cross Tekken, you could also count Cross Tekken as part of that, but, like, because the thing about Bob here is that, yeah, goofy, fat guy doing acrobatic martial arts and stuff. But the thing is that Bob was a very self-serious character. And that's meant to be the comedy. Is that, yeah, he's this orb, but he's doing, like, somersaults and shit. It is the deliberate... They're scrambling for American things to get him. Maybe. I don't know. Because the thing about Bob, right? Or rather, how he was introduced to Tekken in Tekken 8. Tekken 6. Is that the thing about Bob is that despite his appearance, he is treated and he acts like a 3.5 if you count Skinny Bob in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Yeah, I could add. Okay. So a bit of lore here, right? So the thing about Bob, the reason why he looks the way he does in lore is because despite being an excellent gifted fighter, Bob was could never beat people that are bigger than him, that weighed more than him, which, you know, makes sense. Weight classes are a thing, right? If 2 people of the same skill fight against each other, but one of them weighs more, the person that weighs more is likely going to win due to, you know, having more mass. So the idea with Bob, or rather where the joke comes from, is that he puts on all of this weight in order to make himself... He puts on all this weight and goes through a training regimen that maintains his speed, but adding weight not only to only his attacks, but makes him harder to, you know, be knocked out because, again, more mass makes you hit harder, and it also makes you take less damage, right? So despite him looking like a fat clown, he's like actually in his peak. He's literally in peak physical condition. He has a perfect body for what he wants to do. Clanker, Choconnichi, bitch, how you doing? So the main thing about Bob is that, you know, he looks like a fat slob, but he's actually like in perfect physical condition because he managed to pile on a fuck ton of mass, but also maintain his speed and acrobatics. So that's the joke. And part of the joke is Bob is a self-serious character. Like, yeah, seeing him bounce around like a pinball is funny, but the way that Bob looks and acts, he is treated in universe as if he's like the like super handsome like Ikemen hero kind of character. And that in and of itself adds a layer of visual comedy to him because, you know, fat guy, but he's got like a handsome face, and he's like being like a super cool guy, and it's this like insane juxtaposition that makes character charming. But over time, they start adding more and more goofy things to Bob that take away from that initial juxtaposition that was supposed to make him. Like, all of a sudden, now he's like a Toku hero. But also, they're bringing it back. He has the skateboard. But also in Tekken 8, he lost a fight against Brian Fury. And what was the lore of him in Tekken 8? Right, so yeah, in Tekken 7, he gets in a fight with Brian Fury, and in Tekken 8, it's revealed that he lost the fight. And while Bob was in the hospital, he was like, man, hospital food fucking sucks. So he gets out the hospital and starts running a food bank where he makes the food, where he makes burgers and onigiri, and starts running food banks to feed people that have been affected by Kazuya and Jin's fucking World War III terrorist incident that was happening in Tekken 6, and throughout Tekken 6 and 7 and 8. And what was it? I think it was like the mayor of New York is like, you know what, Bobby did a good job. Now you need to go and beat up Kazuya. You need to go beat up the devil for starting this whole thing, and our citizens can like finally know peace or some shit. And he's like, and Bob's like, yeah, all right, I'll go kick Devil Man's ass. He's feeding the world. He legitimately is. Bob is a hero, and I think that's what it is. Is that in the lore of Tekken, Bob is a hero, and what being a hero means is different depending on what game he's in. Because remember, in Tekken 6, the intro to Tekken 6, the introduction that we have to Bob is him stopping a bank stopping a bank robbery. Which immediately puts him off as like, he's like a selfless hero kind of character. And in Tekken 7, they exaggerate that more by making him like more of a Toku hero, which still a hero, but like more goofy, more silly. In this one, he's like, they're going back, they're toning down the Toku bit a little bit, not too much, a little bit, and going for like, Bob is America's hero. Like, I feel like that's what they're trying to go for with this new version of Bob. I don't know. I like the tracksuit though. Also, I want to point out, Bob, red tracksuit, yellow shoes, yellow gloves. If we're paying attention to the color distribution of his outfit here, this is basically Ken, right? Red jacket, red pants. The little black line at the bottom of the jacket is black, which is where the karate belt would be, which is black. Yellow gloves, yellow shoes. I mean, that I'm not saying it's literally Ken, but if we're talking in the language of fighting games, this outfit for Bob, and also the star, a little bit of Terry right there, does make him resemble Ken a little bit.
Has arrived.
Bob!
Oh, hold up. Did they give him a new hit effect? He has a new hit effect. It's a Hornet now. Oh, the Hornet with the fork that was on the skateboard. Oh, that's his new hit effect. Oh yeah, no. Yeah. By the way, in Tekken, characters have their own. They have their own hit effects. By default, every character has their own unique hit effect, and they've changed throughout the course of the years. Some of them. I'm trying to think. Like, I know some of them didn't change at all. Like Paul's still the same. Law, the Mishimas are all the same. But other characters characters like this, like Bob, they get new one. They'll get a new one. It's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know much about Bob, honestly. In terms of all I know about Bob is that he was a fucking menace in Tekken 6, which made everybody hate him. He was pretty annoying in Tag 2, but he wasn't like, Bruce or Lee or whatever. Like he wasn't Heihachi. Like he wasn't God tier in Tag 2. Tekken 7, I remember him being vaguely annoying in Tekken 7, and they started adding things to his kit that made him play more like a traditional Mishima. Like Bob has had his own version of like the electric at this point, where it's like the launching I-13 mid. Like they added that, or it's like a launching I-13 high or something like that off of a wave dash. They started giving him like Mishima-esque tools to like make him good. But I don't know how that was received by the Tekken community because I don't care about the upper echelon of Tekken players. So that's all I got. I like Bob. That's new. That's definitely new. He never had that. Guard break.
Cheap shots just don't work on my perfect body. Cheap shots just don't work.
The new mayor of New York. Oh, the fucking America tie.
Perfect.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If my PC could run Tekken, I'd play as Bob for a couple of weeks.
Body. Impact.
What? Why did he say that? I guess they're trying to give him a catchphrase?
Shots just don't work on my perfect
I guess they're
body.
trying to give him a catchphrase, I guess.
Impact.
Because I know he has like speed and weight, but not it. Parry! Wait. Oh, he's got a parry now! Not sure how I feel about this. So if I remember correctly, this is like his forward 1+2 grab or something. I don't forget. But this is a unique command grab for Bob, where he grabs you and then just tosses you up. And then he was able to do like a combo afterwards, because it would cause a hard knockdown that he could juggle from. And this one, it's like, no, you don't get the combo anymore. You just get like a cool like cutscene, but I don't know how to feel about that. I don't like that. It changes the purpose of the throw. Instead of being like, yeah, it's just instead of being like, oh yeah, here's a throw that you could use to, do a wall combo, to do like a wall carry combo, or like a tech trap or OTG setup. It's like, no, here's just a throw that you use to do damage. Maybe it wall splats, I don't know. Not a fan. He's got the booty bump! Nice. As mandated, every fighting game needs to have a character that does a butt attack. So what's this? This makes Bob, Anna, so that's Bob and Anna. Yep. It used to be Anna, now it's Anna and Bob.
I hope you're ready. Hey, sense.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so from what I've been told, or rather from what I briefly read and then later had someone explain to me in a Tekken video, these parts here, the whole speed, weight, power, this here is actually just frame. If you tap a button at the moment of impact, you get this. You get the text that makes his attack stronger. So a little bit of Lucky Chloe. A little bit of Lucky Chloe and Bob here. Hold up, what is that? Those gold. Okay, so it's onigiri, stars. Those burgers? Oh, yeah, I like little burgers. Yeah, onigiri and burgers. Okay, I see. Got it.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Oh, it's a bee. It's not a hornet, it's a bee. Oh, that's what they're going for. Float like a butterfly, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Okay, that's what they're going for.
You know why I love eating onigiri? Kudarana.
Another Tekken 6 song, by the way.
You know why I love eating onigiri? Kudarana. Because onigiri also means to slay devils.
I'm thinking of whether or not this is peak fiction or not. Give me a second here. Because as far as I can tell, Bob and Kazuya have never actually met. Like, Tekken 8 is literally the first time these two characters ever interacted at all. But Bob is being sent on a mission from the mayor of New York to kill Kazuya. You know what? I fuck with it. It's peak fiction. Approved.
Play devils! Eating onigiri butterfly, sting like a bee. You know why I love eating onigiri? Kudarana. Because onigiri also means to slay devils. Let's go!
Oh, blue launcher! He's got a blue launcher now. Holy shit! They are really trying to make Bob. I don't want to say technical, but like, you know, blue spark launcher. I'm trying to think, like, how many characters Star Tekken had gotten blue spark launchers like that? That's okay. For context, blue spark launchers like this, blue spark launchers. These are like just frame moves, by the way. So it's like I guess they're trying to make Bob more of a technical character. I guess. He's got parry, like they're giving a lot of just frame stuff. His supers has just frames. This blue spark launcher is a just frame. He's got parries, which are also just frames. Like, I guess that's what they're going for. A technical evasive character.
Eat your calories out.
Eat your calories out.
Burn my fat. Roar my fists.
Oh, by the way, he has a. Oh god, hold up a second.
Eat your calories.
So, by the way, remember what I said about Bob being a hero? They're really going all in on this Toku shit.
Calories out.
Eat your calories.
Burn my fat. Roar my fists.
And by the way, he has Kim Kapuan shit now. Like,
roar my fists.
Alright, so this. The fucking. Hold up a second. Where is it? Where is it? TFG, my beloved. Fighters Generation. KLF. Kim Kapuan. Where are you, Kim Kapuan? Missions. Yeah, here we go. So, if I'm right, I should be able to do this and not have it fuck anything. I was wrong. Okay, hold up. Alright, let's try this. There we go. Alright, so. So, Bob's doing Kim Kapuan shit now. And I'm telling you, they're doing something. I don't know what. But I'm telling you, Namco is working with SNK for something. Something, I don't know what it is. Because this is 2 SNK references in this one trailer for this one character. And as far as we know, like, they're not doing anything. They're not working on anything. So, like, why is this here? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying something's being worked on under the hood, in the backgrounds. Something's being worked on. That's all I'm saying. I forget what it's called. What was it called? Hishokyaku? I forget. I think it's Hishokyaku. Yeah. The fucking dive kick, bicycle kick thing like this. Kim Kapan move. Like, I don't know what Namco's cooking with SK, but they're cooking something.
Eat your
calories out. Burn my fat. Roar my fists.
Feel the power.
Hold up. Was that a Shinryuken?
Feel the power.
Second. Okay, uppercut. Blue. That. That. I mean, it definitely feels like a Shinryuken. Even if I don't really care about fighting games, it's nice to listen to someone who's this passionate about the stuff he likes. I mean, I branded myself as Flavor's Forgetful Finding Fanatic for a fucking reason, man. I love this shit. I might have my misgivings about the fighting game community as a whole, but this genre, I love this genre. I've been playing fighting games literally as long as I can remember. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm good at them, but I love this genre. Ugh. But back to this trailer, like it. I'm not gonna say it's a Shinryuken, but it definitely feels like it. Move it there.
You'll need to spend the rest of your life paying for all your sins. Paying for all your sins.
God damn, those burgers look good. Fuck. Yeah. You know what? Oh god, the bacon burgers. You know what? This looks like. These look like the. You know those little candy gummy burgers? Like, these look like if you took those candy gummy burgers and then made an actual burger out of that. So, fuck, those look good. God damn. You know, I do got some ground beef. I could make a burger. Right? Yeah, I'll make some burgers tonight. God. What? Costume 2? That's not a costume, that's a color edit. Wait, is this when they started doing that? We're like, oh yeah, no, alternate colors and now costumes now? Like, no, that's a color edit. Then we got fucking mayor outfit with the USA eagle tie. You know what? I kind of fuck with it, not gonna lie.
The hero has
Tekken 4 out, Tekken 7 outfit that I don't like, but you know, it's fine.
arrived.
Ooh. I wonder if anybody could see this. So the Tekken, okay, so for every character that was in Tekken 7 that is also in Tekken 8, You could have their Tekken, a little bit of nostalgia. You can have their Tekken 7 outfit as well. And it is very obvious that the Tekken 7 outfit is very extremely obvious that the Tekken 7 outfit is literally the same model. Like, it is the exact same model that has been copied and pasted onto the new engine, into the new game. And you can tell because you can see the polygons. You can see, like, even for this one, for like Bob, you can see like on the collar of his shirt, of his inner shirt, the white shirt, like you could see how the text, you could see like there are parts where like, oh yeah, the shadows, the shadows are baked into the texture. Now I'm not saying that these are bad, but it's fascinating that if you were to take I mean, I guess I'll have to, if I ever get a computer that could run this shit, that I could ever run Tekken 8, I would show it off. But like, you can clearly see, like, you could see that the Tekken 7 outfits have a lower poly count than the Tekken 8 outfits because they are directly from Tekken 7, and that the lighting doesn't quite look as good because it's a new engine and these outfits were not made for the new engine. So like, you get to see like even if, like for this shirt here, the Hawaiian shirt, like the rim like on the shoulder, can't really. Right, hold up. Let me see. Capture cursor. Will this work? I mean, barely. You can barely see my mouse. But you can see like here the lighting, cause the shirt. Hey, kick, Dragon Lord, Choconnichi, bitch, how you doing? You can even see here, like, the lighting on his shoulder. Here, where the Hawaiian shirt is. Like, you can see, like, the individual, like, you see, like, it's highlighting, like, the individual threads of the shirt. But the thing is that in Tekken 7, the shirt, this Hawaiian shirt, is meant to be shiny. So you're not supposed to see that. It's supposed to be like it's supposed to be more like more like one of those like shiny like summer like vacation shirts. It's meant to be kind of like not silk, but it's meant to be like I forget what it's called, but it's meant to be more of a like a summer shirt. It's meant to be like kind of like shiny. And here it looks more rough. Kind of looks like, I don't know what material this is actually. My initial thought is like, oh, is this fucking denim? But you can see like here, because you can see every individual thread of the shirt, it looks a lot more rough. The shirt looks rougher, like of a heavier, rougher texture than it does in Tekken 7. Which makes me think, did they actually retexture the outfit? Or did they find the uncompressed, or did they keep the uncompressed textures from Tekken 7 and then put them layered in on top of the outfit? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how fucking 3D modeling works, but I will say that even though you can the poly count is lower, you can see it in parts of like, oh, like yeah, in the collar, you can see like the poly count is actually lower, but the texture looks fine. I wonder if they're going to go back and retexture the other Tekken 7 outfits, or if this is just going to be a thing for new characters to make them look good, to keep them looking good and worth paying for. I don't know. Because when it comes to stuff like this, very rarely do they go back to the original, the older characters and touch them up to be on parity with the DLC characters. I forgot what I was talking about. And again, nothing on Yujiro. We still only got like slides of art for Yujiro. We don't have any idea what he's gonna look like in game. And then we got this fucking bullshit.
What? No, sugar.
So there's lore here. And I don't just mean this fucking meme where a guy punches a kangaroo to save his dog. Although, But there is legitimate lore here. So, Harada talked about this years back about the reason why Roger is not in Tekken 7. Harada very specifically mentioned that back during like Tekken Tag 2, like during Tekken Tag 2 or like at the end of Tekken Tag 2, that there were animal rights activists complaining that Roger was a character in Tekken that you could beat up a kangaroo in Tekken. That it's digital animal cruelty or some fucking shit like that. And so in order to, you know, I forget the specific saying, but basically, the reason why Roger was not in Tekken 7 is a response to that. So now with Tekken 8 coming out, Roger Jr. once again being a character, being brought back from Tekken Tag 2, from the depths of Tekken Tag 2, and introduced with this meme of a guy punching a kangaroo is like a really nice, it's a pretty big fuck you. And I appreciate that. I appreciate when devs go like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you. I love that. Same thing with like fucking Mary Rose in Dead or Alive. I love how she was designed. Even if I don't like the character. But yeah.
No,
So yeah, cheeky
sugar.
meme, and also Harada's last fuck you while he was working at Namco. Like, fuck you animal rights activists, we're putting the kangaroo in the fucking game. Ah! There we go.
No, sugar.
And again, Roger gets a proper trailer at Evo France. Cool, I guess. Do I have the comparison? I also downloaded a comparison that has the meme and the Tekken thing for fun, but I might as well do this now since I'm not going to be talking about Tekken for the rest of the stream. I still have it, right? That one, not 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 that one. Was it this one? No, that one's different. No, not that one. Wait, did I not save it? I thought I saved it. Wait, I don't think I saved it. I didn't save it! God damn it. Okay, hold on a minute. I mean, I can find it on Twitter. I think I bookmarked it. Let me double check. Maybe I bookmarked it? Sake, I'll just look Roger Jr. Media tab. I'm looking for the one that was a direct comparison. I mean, I guess I could just show the meme, right?
Dangerous.
Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, here we go.
Dangerous.
Let it go, dogs, let's go. Down the dog's coming.
Dangerous.
Yep, a very nice cheeky reference. You also notice that for the bit, they actually dressed up Leroy as the guy. Nice touch.
No, sugar.
Okay, so that's that. Okay. Mm. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Why is that open? Get rid of that. Okay. You know what? Might as well go from one 3D fighting game to the next. Time to talk about Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive 6. I'll start off with the trailer, and then I'll talk a little bit about the humiliation ritual that Dead or Alive has been going on for the past. I mean, if I want to be honest, like almost a decade. Like what? Like 8 years. Hold on. When was the core values thing? When was the core values thing at Evo Japan? Dead or Alive, core values, Evo Japan, 2019. Yeah, so DOA has been on Dead or Alive 6 has been a humiliation ritual since that game came out. So, I'll talk about that a little bit after the trailer. Alright, here we go. Minato! Unrelated. Coming this summer. And that's it. That's the trailer. we get some concept art of her first and second outfits. We get a name. We get Summer. That's it. So obviously people are being like, well, okay, well, you know, it's a teaser. Obviously, you know, during Evo, you know, they'll have, you know, a producer come out and be like, hey, we re-released Dead or Alive 6. Aren't you excited? Here's some information about the new character and like the improvements we made to the game and whatnot and all that stuff, right? Because, you know, it's fucking Evo. That would happen, right? Surely it would happen, right? Well, let me show you what happened for Dead or Alive 6 during Evo.
I would also like to take this opportunity to announce today that we will hold an official Dead or Alive 6 last round tournament. The Dead or Alive 6 last round championship is...
There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
And there's more. We are able to hold another tournament for everyone who has supported the DOA series. Let's determine who's the #1 DOA player in the world. And finally, we are also working hard on the newest installation of the DOA series. Please look forward to future updates. We appreciate your continued support for Dead or Alive 6 last round and the DOA series.
So that's what happened. So I would like to I'll play this game. I would like to add some context that this happened during the first day of Evo. This was like Evo day 1, ass o'clock in the morning at Evo. There was like a little it wasn't even a tournament. It was like an exhibition. A Dead or Alive 6 exhibition for like the new game last round, right? And instead of having literally anybody from Team Ninja or Tecmo come in and be like, yeah, we're excited to, you know, reveal Dead or Alive 6 last round or whatever. They sent a fucking email and had one of the commentators read it after an exhibition. That's what happened. A fucking piece of paper. That's your big grand announcement. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a tournament. DOA 6 last round is gonna be part of the Dead or Alive World Championships. Like, that's all you got. Like, not even like, oh, you know, not even like a trailer or like like not even like a, oh yeah, no, here's Minato. Here's like a character model. Here's Minato's fighting style. Like literally nothing. Like yeah, here we're advertising another tournament, and also we're still working on Dead or Alive 7. That's what you get. So the latest entry in this like 7-year-long humiliation ritual that Dead or Alive 6 has been part of. And if you remember earlier when I was talking about, you know, the core values, there's YouTube do not fuck me on this. Okay, I want to show a video, but if I can't, I'll just have to explain it. Is there an actual archive of this? I don't want the whole thing. I just want part that's really fucking funny. Here's a bunch of what happens. Okay, hold up. Okay, here's an archive of the Evo Japan stream. I guess I could put this up on screen. Oh, yeah. Okay, LF14 soundtrack, my beloved. Okay, is there gonna be a... Yep, here we go. Okay, so Evo Japan 2019. I don't remember if this was the first Evo Japan, but this was very early when Evo Japan was being a thing, right? So there was this huge showcase where all the latest Japanese fighting games were having a show floor. They were like discussing the game, showing all features and stuff because these games weren't out yet, right? And for Dead or Alive, somebody at Dead or Alive, we don't know who, because I'm pretty sure this was... I think this was after Itagaki had already left? Hold up a second. I need to check something. That's the wrong button. I mean, I should keep that away. Check something real. I mean, I guess I could check. Actually, no. I'm gonna check my because I talked to Malone about this, about Itagaki and how he left, why he left. Let's see. Or I could just Google. You know what? I should have just Googled it. Itagaki leaves him ninja. When was this? Yeah, 2008. What the hell am I thinking of? Yeah, no, because why did I say that? Of course he left. Yeah, he left before Dead or Alive 5. Why did I think he was still around? Oh, fuck, I'm retarded. Okay, never mind. Yeah, he's clearly gone by now. Okay, back to... Okay. Okay, right, so... Yeah, Itagaki's gone by now. DOA 5 was made without him. It is the, competitively speaking, it is the best game in the series. Aesthetically, looks bland as hell. Like, there's always a schism between, like, the casuals and the competitive when it comes to Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive has always had, like, a very strange relationship with the broader FGC as a whole, because people most see it as, like, a fucking Gooner game with all the sexy outfits, despite the fact that the underlying fighting system is really fucking good, and that if it was just a shameless Gooner piece of shit game, it would not last as long as it did at all. And the prudishness of the American scene has done quite a bit of lasting damage to Dead or Alive, because Dead or Alive in a lot of ways was kind of marketed as like the anti-Tekken. And I don't just mean because Itagaki being a heel and being like calling about how much he hates Tekken. What I mean is that at that time period, Tekken was focused mainly on like and a lot of Japanese fighting games were like, yeah, we only care about what Japan has to say. Whereas Team Ninja and Tecmo took quite a bit of influence and advice of what the American branches would say. And this would come to bite them in the ass when Dead or Alive 5 came out, because the business side of Tecmo were saying like, you got to get rid of this stigma of like Dead or Alive being this sexy gooner game. And so when Dead or Alive 5 came out and the original trailers came out, it was like it cut back on a lot of the sexuality. It made the art style look more realistic, which I still don't like. Or rather, more like, of its time cinema. So, colors are desaturated. There's like all this Hollywoodisms that I don't like. But it gave us Mila, and Mila's pretty cool. So, I could take that. And then the Japanese brand Tecmo were fucking lambasted by players from all over the world, including America, saying, "What the fuck you doing? Give us the sexy costumes back." And then Dead or Alive, every update to Dead or Alive 5, update Ultimate, Plus, Last Round, like every version of Dead or Alive 5 that came after the original one just added more and more sexy outfits because that's what people like. And then they started having like, oh hey, we're making costume contests now. You can get to make your own sexy outfit that we might actually put in the game. And then the horny DLC legitimately paid for that game's development. Like, holy shit. Oh, it's great. But anyway, and then you capstone it off with adding my fucking Shiranui into the game. The last DLC character was my goddamn Shiranui. Funny how things work out, huh? But anyway, so Dead or Alive 6 gets revealed, and it seems to be doing a lot of the same things that Dead or Alive 5 did at launch. We're going for more Hollywood-isms with designs and how we want the action to look, and toning down the sexuality a little bit of a lot of it, which leads to people getting upset. And fucking hell, the fucking nickel and diming in Dead or Alive in release Dead or Alive 6 was like some of the scummiest shit in the world. Let me see if I can understand this right. Yeah, on release, Dead or Alive 6 had like these you could spend $1 to change a character's hair color. Which, you know what? That's a bit much, but it's like, so, and people are on this like, if I just spend $1, I could just really change the character's hair color. I mean, that sounds a bit much since it's like $1 per character. Like, that's a bit much, right? At first it's like, you could just spend the extra $1, you get to just change hair colors for all characters. No, it's one character. Also, no, you actually only could do it once. You get to spend $1 and you get to change the character's hair color one time, and that also includes if you want to change the hair color back to default. That's not free. Every time you want to change the hair color, change the hair character for a single change hair color for a single character, that's $1 every single fucking time. Also, the way outfits work is that all the outfits in the game are made up of costume parts that are assigned to you at random for every character, for every outfit, and you do not get to transfer costume parts. You just have to keep grinding until you build up enough costume parts to unlock an outfit, and they are drip fed to you. Like, you get, I think costumes were like hundreds of pieces, and you get like a couple, like 5 a day or some shit. And they are completely random for which costume it goes for. Which costume it goes for. You don't get to choose. It's some of the scummiest shit in the fucking world. But that's about the game's but that's for the game after it released. Okay. Yeah, but JP said, Choconnichi, bitch, how you doing? I'm talking about the Dead or Alive humiliation ritual that's been going on for the past 7 years. But again, I was talking about the game after it launched. But let's talk about the game before launch. So for Evo Japan, when all the games are being shown off at the show floor, like, hey, here's the big show floor, here are all the games we got coming up from all the Japanese developers. And generally they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have some commentators, do some exhibitions, we're gonna have, maybe a producer or director talk about what we want for the battle system and all that kind of stuff. Tecmo, or maybe Team Ninja, we don't know whose idea this was, but for Tecmo, they were like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get some grab models.
有識者の方々を交えて今日は進めたいと思います。まずはシリ職人こと倉持ゆかさん。
Hold up.
よろしくお願いします。
はい。よろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
Yeah, here we go. We're gonna get some fucking grabber models with their fucking tits out.
はーい。
And they're gonna play the game and they're going
よ
to
ろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いし
and
ます。
they're going
そ
to
して
make
最後に DOA6 プロデューサー
they're
の
going
新
to go
森
to
洋
the,
平さんです。よろしくお願い
Dead
し
or
ます。
Alive camera feature and make sus screenshots.
あれパイマン。
パイマン。
はい。
そういうノリなんですね、この。
So this was Dead or Alive this was the strategy for Dead or Alive 6 to market their game.
二人見ちゃうと。
It's very tongue in cheek.
わかりました。じゃあそういうノリ
And
で。
people were having fun with it. People were going
お
wild
願
in
いしたい
chat
と思いますので、倉持さん、
as they
ご紹介お願いし
everyone
ま
wants
す。
to do,
エ
right?
ボジャパン
But
ご
it
来
was a
中
good
ご来
time.
中の皆様、そして生放送ご来場ご
was a
覧
good
くださってい
time,
る皆様、こんにちは。100センチのもっちりヒップ、シリ職人こと倉持ゆかです。よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いしま
You
す。
know what, Dragon Lord, good for you.
いやもうね、本当
But
に
yeah,
文
this
字が
was
噛んじゃうぐらい
the
たくさん
strategy
書い
at
てます
Evo
ね。
Japan to bring attention to the game. Despite, I would like to remind you, despite the fact that, by the way, Dead or Alive 6 was working to deliberately tone down the sexuality that was happening with the games, much like how Dead or Alive 5 did. So, Dead or Alive 6, from its inception, had this weird schizophrenic thing where, like, yeah, we're toning down the sexiness, but also we're kind of not, but we also kind of are, and it seems to entirely depend on which side of the hemisphere you lived on whether or not Dead or Alive was going to be like a sexy game or it wanted to be like more serious and more Hollywood and shit. It
すごい人の
It was all
熱
over
気
the
で、
place, right?
すごいですね。
そしてじゃあ吉田さんにも自己紹介お願いしましょうか。
Let's, let
まず
me
6
fast forward.
はい、では改めてなんですけども、このステージの企画趣旨の方をですね、新堀さんから説明していただけると聞いております。
そうですね。先ほど紹介あった通り、
はい、
4K 対応をしていますので、ものすごく綺麗なゲームですよっていうのをアピールしたいですね。あとデッドライブといえば、女の子がね出てきて、可愛かったり美しかったり、まあお色気要素があったりということなので。
プロデューサーが。
Here we go. It was shit like they were doing shit like this.
本当そうなんですよ。いろんな意味で本当にキリキリなんですよね。
いや危ない危ない危ない。ちょっとこれぐらいにさせて。
はい、じゃあこれぐらいに。
タイムアップでいただきました。
物言い入りました。タイムアップです。
ちゃんとみんなの祈りが通じて投げてくれた。
They were doing fun little shit like this, right? And then
まあ簡単な感じと。
wait, isn't not here?
あった。
Oh god, it's not here. Okay.
水着とか紐の食い込みが。
もうキーワードその辺。
Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, hold up a second. Okay, so that's the stream. Hold up a second. Because immediately after this, I want to find the... Is that it? I want to find the archive of the stream. Review. Oh, her name was Samaki, right? I want this embarrassing moment to be archived. It has to be here, right? Let me snoop around a bit. I want the exact moment to be shown off. Because during the English because it happened during the English broadcast. That was the Japanese broadcast, which is fine. But what I'm looking for was happening during the English restream of Evo Japan. I don't want a review of some guy talking over it. I want the actual moment. Official co-streaming of Evo Dead or Alive 6 tournament. 3 years ago, Italian commentary. No, I want 2019. Apparently apparently Dead or Alive 6 at Evo Japan 2023 was fucked up as well. In a way that I didn't know about, actually. Huh. I mean, I'll look at that later, but that's not what I want. Hold up. Core values, KYM. Like, I get that. You know, I guess I could put this here. If yeah, core values was a fucking huge fucking meme after this. Why is it? Oh, they're gone. They're gone. The fucking archives were wiped. Holy shit. Oh, they're gone. Oh, hold up a minute. I guess I am gonna have to find some fucking YouTube. I guess I am gonna have to pull up a fucking YouTube commentator, huh? I really didn't want to do that. I mean, there's the tweet, but that's only part of it. I mean, I guess I could screenshot this just for the sake of context, but that's not too important. Okay, let me see. 6. Cool. Okay, no, they wiped this shit off the fucking. They wiped that shit off internet. God damn. Okay, all right. So let me explain what happened. So during the official English restream of Dead or Alive 6, when hold up. Yeah, so during the official restream of Dead or Alive. Okay, so during the official restream of Dead or Alive 6 during the Evo Japan, like the official English restream, while they were, you know, doing perverted shit like you know, cheeky perverted shit like this, the English broadcast would immediately cut. It would cut. And the two commentators at the time, which were Markman Julio, arcade stick aficionado, and worked closely with Tekken for a good number of years with Namco and Tekken. The guy that basically made Mad Catz arcade sticks to be actually good for like about a decade, right? And next to him was Tasty Steve, who you might know as the Make Some Noise guy. Commentates a lot for Tekken. A lot for Tekken. The guy that always pops off when a new character trailer gets off. Known for being like the ultimate hype beast and sometimes breaking wrists. Hold up, let me get into it. So, during this official restream, right, the feed would cut, and then would go smash cut to the commentators, Markman and Tasty Steve. And Markman is reading this piece of paper that says that, oh, we are that Dead or Alive 6 does not adhere to our core values of the fighting game community, what we want the FGC to be. And so, because of this, we are removing, or rather, we're cutting out the Dead or Alive segment for Evo Japan. We hope you enjoy the rest of the event or some shit like that, right? And the funniest part is that while Markman is reading the paper, you can visibly see Tasty Steve being fucking pissed that this is happening. He doesn't say anything, but you could see it. Like, he is so fucking mad that this happened. Like, you could read it on his face like, this is some bullshit. What the fuck are they making you read here? He is so fucking mad. And I mean, I took a screenshot of the tweet that was in the video, so I guess I could show that off too. That's the wrong folder. And so, immediately after the announcement, this shows up on Twitter, where Joey Queller, aka Mr. Wizard, who was the guy that I mentioned earlier that was like kind of like the head of like managing Evo at the time. There you go. Now you get nothing. I guess this. I thought I turned it. I'm gonna have to check the arc. I'm gonna check my VOD. Ah, Jesus. Oh. So anyway, while this whole okay, so do I need to explain from the top what was happening? Like, how quiet was I compared to the video's audio? How far am I gonna have to go tell? How far am I gonna go back for the story? You know, it's reasonably short. I could just start over. I could start over. Hold up. Let me move this out the. Audio was fine. Well, Simon says that I was too quiet. Up your mic or down the streams if I'm playing it while we're talking. Yeah, so according to Simon, my audio was low. Which, to be fair, that's a pretty constant thing in my streams. My audio balancing is really bad. Okay, so context again. Evo Japan 2019 tournaments. Tournaments are happening, showcases are happening, and so after the tournament, Dead or Alive 6, which I believe was not out at the time, if I remember correctly, I don't remember, I believe it wasn't out yet. You know, a producer and some fucking Grevera models are being perverted little shits, but it's all tongue-in-cheek, right? Going like, fucking look at how big fucking Honoka's tits are and shit. Well, you know, just having fun, right? With the camera feature that has been in every Dead or Alive game since I want to say Dead or Alive 3. You know, just having fun. And then during the official English broadcast of this tournament, it cuts out, and you get a smash cut to the commentators the two English commentators who were Tasty Steve and Mark Julio, who are both like Tekken guys. Mind you, this was 7 years ago, the high of annoying Twitter, people being moral busybodies. Oh, they never left. They're still around. They're arguably more annoying now than they were back then, but no, they're still around. Anyway, you get a smash cut to Tasty Steve and Markman Julio, who are like big Tekken guys at the time, but they're like also know a little bit about Dead or Alive, but they're like big Tekken dudes. They're, you know, doing the English broadcast. And Markman is reading this notice on a piece of paper next to Tasty Steve, who was looking absolutely fucking pissed that this is happening. talking about how this Dead or Alive content, this content for Dead or Alive 6 does not reflect the core values of EVO and what we want EVO to be, and we are removing Dead or Alive 6 from the broadcast. You know, please enjoy the rest of EVO Japan, blah 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 shit. And I can show the tweet again, I'll show it again. And this happened immediately after the notice of Mr. Wizard over here, Joey Queller, who was the, I forget what he was. I think he was like the EVO like organizer. Like he was basically the guy that was making sure the EVO was running, basically. Like the guy behind making sure the EVO is running. I forget the term for it, but yeah, basically the guy that was running EVO, basically. Yeah, the DOA ad that aired on our stream does not reflect the core values of the EVO or FGC. We end the stream temporarily to protect the integrity of our brand. We sincerely apologize to our fans, right? So that happened, right? And then, you know, as the internet does, core values became a massive fucking meme. In the frame, this happened. Also, I forget what it's called. I forget what we're gonna say, but in a very much reset the fucking clock situation. Almost immediately, like I think within a year or two after this tweet, Mr. Wizard, Joey Queller, would be outed as a fucking pedophile and would be booted off. And would be immediately kicked out of, immediately be removed from having anything to work with EVO. And then the EVO brand was kind of in free fall for a while. Sony picked it up, and then it was later picked up by Kiria. And now we're in the situation we're in right now with EVO that I talked about at the beginning of the stream. But that's yeah, so that happened. Anyway, ever since this moment, it seems that this moment seemed to have permanently poisoned Dead or Alive 6. It has seemed to have inflicted a blood curse. A digital blood curse on Dead or Alive 6, because DOA has never been able to recover from this moment. Every time Dead or Alive gets... Every time anything happens with Dead or Alive in a larger scale in terms of people noticing Dead or Alive, it's always for a bad reason or a fucked up reason, or like something always has gone wrong with Dead or Alive after this moment. And the latest one that I mentioned a bit earlier that I guess I'll have to mention again because it has been a while is that yeah, so Dead or Alive 6. Hold up a second. Hold up a second. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up a second. Hold up a minute. It's still here, right? Because if not, it'll be really funny. Yeah, it is. Okay. Dead or Alive is more dead than alive. I mean, people have also been making dead on arrival jokes for Dead or Alive 6. But hold on a second. Dead or Alive 6 Steam. Not last round. I want the original Dead or Alive 5. Steam community. There we go. Community hub. Store page. Okay, so the latest part of this humiliation ritual is that Dead or Alive 6 is no longer available. Dead or Alive 6 has been delisted because the new game, new bracket game, is Dead or Alive 6 Last Round, which is this big update they want to do for Dead or Alive 6. What does it do? Nothing. This new supposed update for Dead or Alive 6 does literally nothing. And here's the funny... I think what it does is that I think at the very least you get access to all of the most of the DLC characters that were DLC in vanilla DOA 6 are in DOA 6 Last Round for free. But none of the outfits. So if you had any of those outfits, you have to buy them again. You have to buy the outfits again. if you had any of the outfits. Also, you know, Mai Shiranui and Kula Diamond, the guest characters that were in Dead or Alive 6 original, you have to buy them again in last round. Because, here's the thing though, this one I do kind of understand, because legally speaking, Dead or Alive 6 last round is a different game from DOA 6. And the licenses that Koei Tecmo had for those characters was probably only for that version of the game. And they probably could not negotiate a new contract that allowed people to transfer the characters onward. I don't know, there's just a lot of legalese that was involved with Mai and Kula. So I'm not all that surprised that they have to be paid for again. But it is... Oh yeah, here's the trailer for Minato. We know literally nothing about this character. She's a girl, she has Gyaru-esque fashion, and she's gonna be a label during the summer. That's all we get. So, yeah, DOA 6 last round is a massive fucking loss. Is a massive fucking L for Koei Tecmo. And if I'm allowed to... Now listen, like I said, I don't know Corpo. I do know Greed, but I think this is more than this. I don't know a lot about how management works, but I do know corporate greed, and I'm going to assume that the reason why Dead or Alive 6 last round is in its current predicament is because management basically said to developers, we need you to put out a game as fast and as cheap as possible. And the developer were like, okay, listen. If we're going to re-release this game, it needs to have a couple things. It needs to have some quality of life features. It needs to have, you know, rollback and crossplay, and you know, it has to have, the outfits that people bought for. They should be able to re-download them again because they already paid for it. And management said, "Fuck you! You're not doing that. You're going to make this as fast and as cheap as possible. No crossplay, no rollback. We need more money. Because we already have our A team working on Dead or Alive 7. So this is either being outsourced or this is being made by like a B team or C team that's like probably don't know, that probably are not as familiar with this engine or the gameplay as the A team are. Like, this is very much a, this feels like a management fuck. This feels like a top to bottom management fuck up. Because I cannot fathom under any context how this release came out to be this bad for no benefit. Like the one. Are you saying yes? Yes. Now, supposedly, I don't know if this is a consistent thing, but I have been told that if you did buy the outfits, there is a menu in the options that be like, oh, you can if you can prove that you downloaded this outfit on the first version of Dead or Alive 5, like if you have like the license for it that you got from the download on regular DOA 6, you can transfer that to last round and you'll have the outfit. Now, I don't know if that's true. People are being, some people are being being assholes, being like shitposty about the whole situation. So, take that with a grain of salt. But I've been told that if you actually did buy the outfit, you should be able to transfer the license. I don't know if that's true. It should be true, but I don't know if that's actually true. And again, like, fuck the company. Yeah, Koei Tecmo is... Here's the thing that Hold up a second. I'm thinking. Because throughout this whole fucking situation, I'm being like, well, why doesn't Koei Tecmo just take some of the funding of the fucking money shower that Dead or Alive Extreme 3 makes and use that to, improve the fighting game? Because they could do that, right? But I don't know. Maybe they can't do that? Because, like, Dead or Alive Extreme 3, Venus Vacation, whatever the fuck, the dating sim gotcha for Dead or Alive makes money hand over fist. So like surely they could use some of the funds from that to improve the fighting game, right? I don't know. Is Venus Vacation even on the Steam store? It's not on the fucking Steam store. Oh, buddy. So here's another thing, by the way. Here you want to know how shit this gets. So Dead or Alive, I can put it up here. So Dead or Alive Extreme, who some of you may know as the spinoff of Dead or Alive, of the Beach Paradise spinoff / dating sim / gambling sim / jet ski sim / volleyball beach party gotcha slot game, horny gotcha slot game. That obviously it makes money hand over fist. What's extremely important to understand about Dead or Alive Extreme, specifically Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Venus Vacation and whatever expansions that are in it, is that Venus Vacation Prism. Here's a new one. Venus Vacation Prism. So I'll have this playing in the background. I don't really need audio. I'll just play it in the background. So the thing about this version of Dead or Alive Extreme 3, Venus Vacation Prism, whatever, is that, hold up. Do you think DOA can ever recover? It seems like they're trying to kill the series. No, the series will be fine. Dead or Alive Extreme is going to keep that series alive for a long time. The fighting series, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the actual fighting game series will be able to survive. But like this, the waifu gacha, the waifu gacha has been keeping the lights on at Team Ninja. So that'll be fine. The thing that you need to understand is that for Dead or Alive Extreme 1 and 2, the original volleyball spin-off games that were on Xbox, I need you to remember that half of the total series sales for those games came from America. Like for a lot of people, it was like their introduction to dating sims for a lot of people, which is kind of funny. However, it was Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo very specifically stated that due to the culture of how women are perceived in video games, they will not be releasing Dead or Alive Extreme 3 overseas. They fucking said that. Let me see if I can find the article. Hold up a second. Can I find the article? Hold up. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find the article. GameSpot 20. Yeah. Here we go. Dead or Alive Extreme 3 won't ship worldwide due to sexism backlash fears. Fears. This is what I meant when I told you that Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja took way too much influence from the Western side of their company and the fan base. This is what I mean by that. This also led to some really funny moments too, where what was it? Play Asia. We're like, what? Oh yeah, Play Asia. We're like, well, they're not gonna release it, so why don't you buy it from us? Because Dead or Alive Extreme 3 has an official English translation. Because it has an official, like, I think it was Hong Kong English translation. So you can still play it in English. Right? Keep in mind, this is 2015, by the way. And then a bunch of people on Twitter were like, fuck you, this is sexist. We're going to blacklist your game. We're going to boycott your game. And then Play Asia put out another tweet that was showing like they ran out of copies. Like they actually sold out of DOA Extreme 3 copies. And like, man, this is the least effective boycott I've ever seen. Oh yeah. So yeah, Dead or Alive has in the West has struggled a lot with the stigma of being like the Gooner game, despite the fact that it's a genuinely good series. but it has struggled with that perception for a long fucking time, and it's never gonna go away. What was it? What was the commercial? What was it? The She Kicks High commercial? Yeah, here we go. I feel like this TV ad has done irreparable damage to Dead or Alive, to Dead or Alive's perception in the. Oh, God damn it! Hold up, I gotta wait for it to unfuck itself. Yeah, here we go. Okay.
Well, I only play for the fighting. I appreciate the expansive multi-tier environments and the 16 characters with the pixel shading bump mapping and the rich plot development. Seriously, why else would I play it? She kicks high. Rated T for teen.
That commercial, I think, has done irreparable damage to the perception of Dead or Alive in America. Despite the fact that that's half the reason why people even play the series to start with, but whatever. Dead or Alive, since that moment, Dead or Alive has struggled so much to be, well, that and like the, oh yeah, turn your character's age to, in the game settings, make your character's age 99 to make the titty physics go fucking insane. The perversion has made Dead or Alive like fucking corrosive to the larger FGC, because they're like, people like, I like this game, it's a good game, I want to take it seriously, and people see the massive fucking titties and they're like, no. They're like, no. Which makes no fucking sense, cause you know, do I need to bring up the comparison again? A comparison like, oh yeah, no, Dead or Alive has to struggle to be taken seriously by the larger community, but Mortal Kombat is right there. Now, to be fair, Mortal Kombat also gets treated as a joke in a lot of ways, but it's still taken, Mortal Kombat is still taken more seriously over here than Dead or Alive. It's, I'm fucking tired, boss. You're tired, JP's? I'm tired too. I'm fucking tired, boss. Anyway, I spent too much time talking about this shit. Dead or Alive has been on a fucking, has gone through a massive humiliation ritual for almost 10 years, and hopefully Dead or Alive 6, or rather Dead or Alive 7 can fix that. And hopefully, Dead or Alive 6 will be receiving updates to unfuck its reputation. But we'll see what happens. Okay. I'm not tired. You're not tired, Malone? Well, that's because you don't have to deal with this shit every day. Granted, I'm sure that after the first-person shooter genre stopped being the most popular thing in the fucking world, I'm sure that you were tired at some point too, and how people got your entire genre so fucking wrong. But okay, enough of that. Next trailer. Next trailer. I don't have sound. This is also the wrong trailer. I mean, I'll leave that play for now while I get the actual trailer I wanted. Here's the one I wanted. So, context. The Neo Geo Premium Selection are updated re-releases of old Neo Geo games that cost around $20. And I like a lot of these games, but I don't like them $20 much. But one of the games, and there is a speculation. I don't know if this is true, but there's a speculation that the Neo Geo Premium Selection are going to be the updated ROM carts for the new Neo Geo that SNK is putting out. Like, when they put out the new Neo Geo, they're also going to be putting out these updated ROM carts with more shit in it. I don't know if that's actually true, but that is a speculation that's been going on. I think that'd be neat. It would also probably crash the fucking secondhand Neo Geo market, which would be a good thing. Holy fucking shit. There is no excuse why the carts cost the same as they did in 1998. That's crazy. But anyway, so the latest game that was selected for the Neo Geo Premium Selection is Art of Fighting 3. A game that I have a lot to say about. I think it is a game that is very unfortunate. It's not a good game, but it is exceedingly interesting due to, you know, when it came out, how it plays, the influences of its, the influence that it took compared to other fighting games, its place, its style. It is a game that unfortunately doesn't play. It's a game that's unfortunately very clunky because it is trying to. Art of Fighting 3 at its core is trying to be Virtua Fighter but 2D. And that is going to make the game play really fucking weird. And it does play really weird, but I like it. I think it's really cool. It's a very interesting style of 2D fighting game that we don't get at all. Like, Art of Fighting 3 was like the first of its kind, and no other 2D fighter really took the mantle of it. But anyway, the game's like 30 years old, because Art of Fighting 3 killed the series because it was too expensive. The main gimmick behind Art of Fighting 3 is that all the sprites were rotoscoped, so they animate really fucking smoothly, and they look fucking fantastic. But rotoscoping on that level, which SNK did again, by the way, for 12 and 13, which also led to them being bankrupt. So, you know, almost bankrupting the company, but you know, we don't like to talk about that. It is a very ambitious game that did not sell, and it led to the entire shelving of the Art of Fighting brand. Outside of, you know, them being in KOF. So 30 years later, and this is how I know that Saudi Prince that owns the company that owns the company that owns the company that owns SNK really loves this shit, because there is no other reason why you would go for a 30-year-old mid-game and add more characters to it, unless you truly love that game. So, for the Neo Geo Premium Selection, Art of Fighting 3, Path of the Warrior, Art of Fighting 3, Art of Fighting Gaiden R. It's getting an updated re-release. Normally, this is the kind of shit that would give me a heart attack because it's something that Exa Arcadia would be behind. But no, this is official SNK. Reignite. So, I don't know if this is also going to be a balance update. Like, all I know is that Yuri and King are being added to the game. But I don't know if, like, there's going to be any gameplay differences. It might just be the game in itself. I kind of hope that it's a gameplay update because Weiler has a lot of unfinished sprites. It'd be nice if they could also, like, fix up Weiler. Get him up to give him a proper moveset, you know? Oh, so it is a rebalance. Rebalance. Okay, it is a rebalance. Seamless rollback netcode. Very nice. I know that Lich Massacre must be jizzing his fucking pants right now. He loves Art of Fighting 3. Bam. King Guda. So, immediately... So, a couple things. Number one. Okay, this one's really just for me. This one's really just for me and Splats because we're deep in this shit. As you can see here by this character art here, you can see the character art. She's got like the big shirt. She's got like the puff shirt, the bow tie, sash, pants, right? So this character art for King, this is very specifically, this is very deliberately Art of Fighting 1 King. In Art of Fighting 2, the puffy shirt was replaced with a white tuxedo jacket. And in Art of Fighting 3, as you see here on this actual sprite, she's wearing a waistcoat. So this is like KOF like 96. KOF 96. This version of King, this one doesn't show up in a lot of games. The one where King's wearing like a waistcoat, this is like KOF 96, like CVS 2, KOF 14, KOF 15. This, because King normally wears like a tuxedo jacket. Normally wears like a full-on tuxedo, because that's what they go for, like this fancy like cross-dressing Prince what's it called? What's it called? Not Ikejo character. Like, yeah, Ikejo character, right? But there is a mismatch here between the character art and the sprite art. And I don't... It raises questions that I don't think I actually want answers to. Like, I'm assuming that this art was just made earlier. But at the same time, like, I'm surely it would have taken longer to make the character sprites. So surely, you know, the character art would reflect the sprites. It's not, to be fair, there have been other games where like there have been mismatches between the character art and sprite art, you know. One of the ones I could think of right now is like Bridget has green eyes, but in the character art he had blue eyes. For like a lot of games will give him blue eyes in character art despite the fact that his sprite art has green eyes. But that's like a relatively minor thing, right? I've talked a little bit about Power Instinct, Metro Melee, about the difference between the character art and sprite art in that game. But I guess for a bit of more extra context, let me pull up. Let's see. TFG, my beloved. TFG, my beloved. Okay. TFG characters. King. Armor King. No. Armor Ralph. Duck King. King KOF. It should be King AOF, you piece of shit. But alright. I'm looking for Art of Fighting 2 artwork. And I am not getting it. Okay. So I'm gonna have to go with sprites instead. So we tab here. Tab here. So this is King as she appears in Art of Fighting 1, where she is very deliberately designed to look more masculine because the entire point of the character of King is that she is a crossdresser who pretends to be a man in order to hide her identity and be taken more seriously as a bouncer, right? That's the whole thing. And then you know, if you and if you beat her with a super move, you get this image where it's like, oh shit, King's a female. The titties and the the bra, right? And then after that, the secret's out, and then basically every version of King afterwards was more feminine. Was more feminine to be like, she went from being like androgynous to like cool looking girl in a tuxedo. Like immediately afterwards. So there's how she looks in the next game, Art of Fighting 2. As you can see here, the big puffy shirt. The big puffy shirt that was meant to hide her chest became a cool fucking white tuxedo jacket. Arguably a little bit James Bond in that, right? Cool tuxedo jacket. And then in later KOF games, here's the artwork. I was looking for this. Yeah, it becomes this. It becomes like a cool fucking tuxedo jacket. Like this, right? And then later on, throughout the KOF series, the tuxedo jacket would go on to be like this, where it's the same color as the pants to make it look more like a more formal outfit. It would kind of swap every now and then to be like, oh, the jacket is the same color as like either the jacket is the same color as the pants, or the jacket is white and it gets like a purple trim because that's the color of her pants. Like it swaps between those two. And then very brief. However, there was a brief instance for like 97, where she's wearing like a waistcoat. And this version would be the version that would be used for like the Capcom versus SNK games. And later on, it would be brought back for like King of Fighters 14 and 15 as her outfit of choice with the cool waistcoat. Personally speaking, I like the waistcoat the best, but I also really like the white tuxedo jacket. Personally, I like both, and over time, it's always been half and half between which one I like more, between the tuxedo jacket and the waistcoat. And it kind of swaps every year. Like, I remember for a long time, I liked the waistcoat more than the jacket, but now I like the jacket more, the white tuxedo jacket. But, you know, that's just minor fucking thing. Oh yeah, some more, this is like more old, like Art of Fighting 1 artwork, again, where she's deliberately designed to look more androgynous. Right? But anyway... this. Right, so let me pull up. Ah, here we go. Oh, this is Shinkiro. I didn't even catch that. I am so used to Shinkiro's faces looking a specific way that it never actually occurred to me that this artwork was by Shinkiro. Because Shinkiro normally has a very specific way of how he draws faces and how he draws clothes that immediately make it obvious that the artwork was drawn by Shinkiro or not. Ah, Jesus. Hold on. Okay, let me pull the trailer back up. Bam! So, we're watching Shikiro, didn't know that. But yeah, so here we have waistcoat version of King. Which, you know what, I'm fine with that. Because in my mind, the colored tuxedo jacket is something that I associate more with KOF than I do with Art of Fighting. So, I am appreciative that this was the chosen outfit that was... the outfit that was chosen for King for this version of Art of Fighting 3. And on the other hand, we got fucking Yuri Sakazaki, which this... oh yeah, surprise! So here we have Yuri Sakazaki, younger kid sister to Ryo Sakazaki, and like one of Japan's most popular, beloved characters. Because, well, yeah, no, I turned it down. And here you have Yuri Sakazaki, right? Kid sister to Ryo, introduced in Art of Fighting 2 as a playable fighter. The girl that gets kidnapped in Art of Fighting 1 that causes the events of that game to happen. Beloved character in Japan. Beloved character, period, but especially in Japan. Personally speaking, I don't like that the outfit that was chosen for here, which is basically like her classic Art of Fighting 2 outfit. Like, this is the outfit for Yuri Sakazaki in basically every game she's been in. Give or take changes like, oh, her hair, she cut her hair, like, you know, give or take changes like, oh, short hair or padded gloves or whatever. Because Yuri Sakazaki in Art of Fighting 3 had a different design. And I always felt that Yuri Sakazaki was a character that was supposed to be in Art of Fighting 3 because she has a unique design. But, you know, it probably didn't have enough time to finish her, right? Which makes sense due to how time-consuming and how expensive it must have been to create sprites for this game back when it first came out. Let me go back to Art of Fighting 2. Yuri Sakazaki. Because surely there will be surely there's going to be sprites of her design in Art of Fighting 3. Of her casual outfit, right? Surely. Surely, right? Let me look for it. It's really not here. It's really not here? Okay. Let me go to Spriter's resource. Okay, Spriter's resource. Arcade. Art of Fighting 3. Actually, no. Neo Geo has its own thing, right? Yes, Neo Geo, Neo CD, Art of Fighting 3. Here we go. Yeah, so Yuri, as you can see here, in Art of Fighting 3, she has. I can go with this one. I'll go with this one. Okay, never mind. Where's the one in her? Oh, there we go. So as you can see here, like Yuri Sakazaki has a unique design in Art of Fighting 3. And so I was under the assumption that, you know, if Yuri was going to be in Art of Fighting 3, she would be wearing this outfit. And then the trailer comes out and she's wearing. Alright. And then the trailer comes out and she's wearing her outfit from Art of Fighting 2. And that's disappointing. That's disappointing. Because I do like the I do like this more casual look for Yuri Sakazaki. I think it's cute. I think it's cute. I would have preferred this over her Art of Fighting 2 outfit. Anyway, Yuri Sakazaki is being added as a playable fighter to Art of Fighting 3R. So, that's pretty cool. I'm looking at this footage. I'm looking at this right now, and I'm trying to. I'm looking and I'm trying to see if the sprites are on parity with the sprites that are already in the game. Because I would really hate for these sprites, because they're newer, because they were made more recently, I would hate them to have the Super Street Fighter 2 effect where they look and animate so much better than the rest of the cast because they're new sprites. Like, I want these new sprites to have the same fidelity as the original game. Seems okay. But yeah. Play the trailer again. So yeah, King and Yuri Sakazaki are being added retroactively to a game 30 years old. And you know what? I fuck with that. I fuck with that heavy. Honor Fighting 3 is such a weird ass game. I love it so much. Wait a minute. I need to look at that King sprite again. Hold on a second. I'm going to frame by frame this shit. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh god, I'm getting too deep in my own sauce. So I am looking at this sprite for King. Her idle stance here. Oh shit. Oh god, hold on. Phone call. Choconnichi, my bitches, I'm back. Had a bit of a phone call. Bit of a phone call. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to cut the stream short. Not immediately, but soon I'm gonna have to cut the stream. Because I mean, at the most charitable way I could say this is some family shit's gonna be happening soon. Family shit bracket, the not good kind, close bracket, is gonna be happening soon. So I'm gonna have to end the stream for an impromptu family visit for like a couple of hours, and then I could resume the stream in like okay, I don't like doing this whole time thing, but like I should be back on stream in like 3 hours. No more than 4 hours. But fuck, what was I talking about before this? I mean, I can't do nothing about it now, so I just have to deal with that. Okay, what am I talking about? Right. So so before I got my phone call, I paused this stream. Or rather, I paused the trailer here for Art of Fighting 3R, which is going to have King and Ad, which is going to... Okay. And everything's fine. Everything's fine. Like I said, I'm not ending the stream immediately. Like, I'm waiting on a second phone call that I'm expecting in about maybe like 30 minutes or so. So I'm not going to end immediately, but I will be ending soon-ish. Okay, so before I forget what I want to talk about, for those of you that are just showing up here, I'm going through a bunch of fighting game trailers because last weekend was Evolution Championship. Oh god, that's a joke nobody's gonna get. The Evolution Championship series. Which is basically a yearly, although now it's a tri-yearly, fighting game event for reasons that I explained at the beginning of the stream that I don't want to talk about now. Basically the fucking, I don't know, the Super Bowl of fighting games, I guess I could call it. And one of the trailers here is for Art of Fighting 3R, which is a update to a 30-year-old game that is adding new characters, online rollback netcode, and balance changes. And there are some very specific things that I noticed during the trailer that I'm gonna be honest, only like really hardcore fucking nerds would care about. But I'm one of those nerds, so I want to talk about it. But I'll let the trailer play out first, and then I'll get to what I wanted to talk about. The thing that struck me when I was watching this trailer. And yes, yeah, that's where the music is from. The music that I was playing during my phone call is from this game. It's a good soundtrack. Both the arcade and the arranged soundtracks are both really good. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so trailer. There's one very specific thing that caught my mind when I saw this. So none of you care, but I care. I care a lot of it. So this character on the left here, this is King. She is a Art of Fighting staple character. With this re-release, she has now been in every single Art of Fighting game. She's a King of Fighters regular. She's a Ikejo character. It started off as being a crossdresser, but now it's just like she just became like cool lady in suit, like Ikejo, like prince type character. Does Muay Thai. She's a bouncer at a fancy club that she owns now, so she's wearing like tuxedos and shit. Anyway, I mean, I guess I could weight here, so like you can see a bit more of the character art here. But the thing that I wanted to point out specifically is it's going to be hard just because it only shows up for a couple of frames, but it only shows up here. This idle stance here that she's doing, like this one very specifically here, where like she's like really leaned back, like she's really leaned back and her arms are more forward. This idle stance is very specifically from like, let me double check here. I want to say 13, but I want to double check. But this is like, yeah, no, this is from modern KOF. Because even in 13, I mean, I guess I show it off here. Yeah, so even this stance here, which is from 13, she's not as far leaned back as she is in this image here. Because this very specific frame, how like the position of her hands, how they're a bit more forward, how she's like, her torso is like really leaned back. This stance is very specifically from like modern KOF, right? Her the way that King's fighting style, or rather the way that her Jesus. Get rid of that. So the way that King's idle stance is in like older KOF games and like Art of Fighting games, her body is like more like, how can I explain this? Her torso and like her legs are more like straight, and her arms are like more forward. Let me see if I can find a good one. That's 95, 90. I mean, I guess I can go with this one for comparison, and I compare it with this one, compared with this one. Because, like, again, it's something that I need to remind people is that even though it's the same character, the depiction in the home series and the depiction in KOF alter quite a lot actually. But hold on a second. So let's start from the beginning here. So this is King, Art of Fighting 1. Idle stance, most of the animation is in the arms, right? But, because, you know, big sprites means you have limited animation, right? So you can see that most of the animation here is in the movement of the arms, right? With some slight bounciness to her legs, right? So, same character, Art of Fighting 2. A lot more animation, you could really see the bounce in her step, and again, the arms look better, or rather, they're animated a lot better, a lot more smoother. And again, the added texture of the tuxedo jacket adds a bit of character to her character, right? Okay, so here is here you go. So this is King of Fighters 95. This is so this depiction of King is again very just deliberately pulling from, you know, Art of Fighting 2, you know, because that was the only other comparison point that there was for King at this point. So it's the way that she's animated is very deliberately paying homage to how she looked in Art of Fighting 2, right? And so now, let me find this. Where's her animations? Here we go. So now, this here, I mean, the sprite was reused in 96. So here, he's just in 97. Now, as you can see, the way that she's proportioned, the way that she's tilted a little bit more towards away from the camera, so that it. I'm not sure how I want to explain this, but I see it's a lot more Muay Thai. She's got her leg up, very classic Muay Thai. She's leaning back a little bit more, and her sprite is like more like how do I call it? Like it looks more square, I guess you could say, like a little bit more defensive. in the way that she's positioned, right? Okay. And now we get to 98. Now, for a lot of people, me included, this is king. I mean, you could swap out the white jacket for like the purple jacket depending on which version of the game you're playing. But for a lot of people, this is what, for people of like my era, this is what king looks like. Like her torso is almost completely. She's almost completely I forget the term for it, but she's almost like completely sideways. Like she's almost completely facing like her opponent, and like her arms are a more not spread. Her arms are more her arms are more forward. Her feet are her front leg is more forward. Her torso is like almost completely facing the opponent rather than being like facing the camera. For a lot of people, like this is what king looks like. There's also a Capcom version of this that was used in the CVS series. There's also this one. Like this version here, I saw this one too. Like this one too. Like you, really leaning really close into that like defensive stance. Like her back is like arched backward, like super, like arched backwards. Her hands are like defending her face and her torso. Right, legs up, not right. I forget the specific term I wanted to use here, but like you could see like as the games went on further and more, like the style of Muay Thai became more apparent, much more defensive focused for King, because she is a defensive character. I should probably should have emphasized that. Like King's game plan is lots of projectile zoning and lots of lots of like annoying keep away with her projectiles. And then she gets in with like a tornado kick, or she does a counter with a trap shoot that does a combo, and then immediately goes back into like long range, mid range, just like pestering the opponent, right? That's her general game plan. So her fighting style, or rather the way that she's animated, is also meant to give you the idea like, oh, this is more of a defensive character, right? So you compare this to go back into 95 here, where they see here it's 95 here, where a lot of her body and her torso is directly facing the camera rather than her opponent. Because that's generally how fighting game characters tend to be animated. So then I go from here. And now you go to here, which is King of Fighters 13, in which she's deliberately animated in a way to homage how she was animated in the old Art of Fighting games. So again, her body is more so facing the camera than it is the opponent, because that's generally how fighting game characters tend to be animated. They tend to be animated on like the 3/4 rule, whether instead of fighting game characters tend to be animated on the 3/4 rule, where instead of directly facing the opponent or directly facing the camera, they're in this like in between state that leads to some awkward animations, but generally looks pretty good, because you want to have a wide stance where you can clearly see where attacks are coming from. It's why they're animated like this. Okay, so that's 13. Let me try something. Yeah, 15 King. Move list? Because there's no actual surprise for it. And I don't want to boot up the game to show this off. Combos, combo video guide. You know what? This might work. I just need an idle stance. That's all I need. Okay, the video is not loading. Thanks, YouTube. But awesome. KOF 50. Trailers. K-Dash. This could work. I just need idle. I just need an idle animation. Pull this up here so there's context for what I'm talking about. While I'm waiting for this fucking YouTube video to load. It's not gonna load. It's not gonna load. Not gonna load. Okay. Never mind. Okay, so whatever. This idle animation here that King is doing is very deliberate. Or rather, I don't know if it's very deliberate, but I'm assuming it's pulling from the latest version of King, which is, you know, KOF 15, right? So that's all that. Then the reason I'm being such a, I'm really trying to emphasize this is because, generally speaking, when it comes to fighting game characters, especially characters in a long-running game like this, and especially for SNK games where not only long-running, but like there are like eras of like types of characters. Like they have so many moves and they have changed so much from year to year that this idle stance can tell me, like, even though this is just like an idle stance and then later she's doing surprise rose, which is her super move, like, this can tell me, or rather give me hints about what type of playstyle, what moves that King is going to have in this game. So off of just these two things, like her idle stance and her surprise rose super, I'm going on a limb and say that King is gonna play similarly to how she does in. I'm going to assume that she's gonna play similarly to how she does in 15, where yeah, she has zoning, but she's more about like getting a solid hit and then just meter dumping to kill. But still doing like pestering mid range. Like, she has good buttons, she has relatively good zoning. I'm going to assume that she's going to have Venom Strike. I'm going to assume that Venom Strike is going to be her second super. Because every character has like... Okay, some characters... Okay, let me rephrase that. Some characters have two super moves. Generally, most characters have one super move, like one big super. Some have two. I'm going to assume that both Yuri and King will have two because they're like, you know, legacy characters. So I'm assuming they're both gonna have two super moves. So I'm assuming that Surprise Rose, which is being done here, is Surprise Rose. Like, that's super one. I'm going to assume super two is going to be Double Strike, which is a big double fireball that she does, and that King is going to be a bit more of a defensive character. Good buttons, good zoning, can pull out a Surprise Rose to like do a offensive move. I don't know if Trap Shoot's going to be there. That's the one that I'm really worried about, is Trap Shoot. The Trap Shoot is her DP, where she does a backflip kick and then does like a bunch of multi kicks, and it's meant to be like a oh, I caught you pressing a button. It's kind of, in a lot of ways, it's like it's a reversal for in a lot of ways. It's an invincible reversal move, which again makes King like, yeah, she's like the super defensive character. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, if she has Trap Shoot, her game plan is already established. Yuri is the strange one, because Yuri has changed so much from game to game, especially in the KOF series. And she was only ever in one Art of Fighting game, which is Art of Fighting 2. I used to do Smith used to do Muay Thai. Unfortunately, never got the opportunity to learn the jumping downward kicks, although I saw paintings of them in the gym. Oh, that's pretty cool. Did you do the thing where they like take an iron bar and just fuck up your shins with it to kill the nerve endings so that you can, you know, kick bats and shit and not have to feel pain? You know, any of like the super hardcore shit. Like, they take a bat and just run your shin, just ruin your fucking shins with it. But anyway, no, Yuri is the strange one out because her game plan changes so much depending on what game. No, that's illegal in America, I think. Well, no, it's only illegal if you get caught. Look, I'm not saying if you want to kick someone's fucking jaw off, surely you gotta deaden those nerve endings. You gotta get rid of those nerve endings. You gotta fry them. Okay. Anyway, so Yuri here. Yuri is gonna be the hard one to decipher, because like in Art of Fighting 2, she's just a Shoto character, like Fireball, DP, Tatsu. And in KOF, she changes so fucking much. Like, she remains a Shoto, but the specific subgenre of Shoto changes a lot. And in modern KOF games, she's kind of the Akuma. Like, she's like super fast. She has like all these she has a dive kick, she has air options, she has like Akuma's like demon flip, where she has like this this special command jump with options out of it. Remember that in old days when boxing was bare knuckle only people wouldn't strike people in the head because it was dangerous for people. That is true, yeah. And that I do know that fatalities for boxing have gone up since padded gloves became standard. I do know that, yeah. Actually, I do know that there is a I don't know how popular it is, but I do know that there is a bare knuckle boxing organization. I forget what it's called. Bare knuckle brawlers or something. I do know that there's an org for specifically bare knuckle brawling. Knuckle fight. Bare knuckle. I guess I can show this. Bare knuckle fighting championship. No relation to the Sega game Bare Knuckle. Bare knuckle fighting championship. I remember that the guys wore like red and blue wrist tape. Is it Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? Yeah, it is. I don't think the video is gonna load because YouTube, but I recognize the blue and red, like the wrist tape for the different fighters. Okay, it's not loading. Yeah, but yeah, this is a thing. I don't know if it's any good or not. I saw a couple of streams like last year, and it was basically a bunch of people complaining that, oh, these aren't real fighters. They're just like, oh, these aren't real fighters. They're a bunch of fucking pussies that couldn't cut it in like fucking real boxing or whatever. I don't care that much about on either side of it. It's just something that I would watch while trying to fall asleep. Anyway, that's a thing. Okay, so again, so Yuri, she's gonna be a hard one to explain, because in Art of Fighting 2, she's not all that interesting as a character. She's just like a Shoto. And so I'm wondering like what they're gonna do with Yuri in Art of Fighting 3. Because I doubt they're gonna go for like Modern KOF. Because if she played as she does in Modern KOF, she would be like the best character in the fucking game, unquestionably, in a way that makes the game unfun. Like she's just gonna be like full on all offense, all gas, no brakes type of character. And that, I don't think that works within, I don't think that's going to work for the type of game that Art of Fighting is. So I'm going to think that they're going to try and base her off of like KOF 96, maybe 97. Like she can charge the fireball. Like she can manually charge the fireball to do a super. She might have Cho upper double. She might have Ryoken. I think she'll have Ryoken. Because there aren't a lot of air specials in Art of Fighting 3, and I think that giving Yuri Ryoken would be a neat gimmick. That she can, oh yeah, she has like air moves, so she fights in a different way. Like that'd be something. She have Ryoken. She might have a Tatsu. I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna have a Tatsu. Would she have Saifa? I don't think she'd have Saifa. Yeah, so she's probably gonna have Koken, charge for super version, Ryoken, Cho upper. Cho upper, maybe maybe that's gonna be her thing. Is that Yuri will have insane burst damage because she can do like super yeah, maybe that'll be her whole thing. Like she'll be able to do like burst damage by doing specials into specials, or rather doing souped up version of her specials, because she can do that, like Cho upper into double, or like charging up the Koken for like the Hao Shokoken. But it costs a lot of spirit meter to do it. Like that could be her whole thing. Like she has super powerful moves that cost a lot of spirit meter that are not supers, but if she lands it, it costs a lot of meter to use. Like maybe that'll be a whole thing. Like she'll be like a I forget, like a feast or famine character. I think that's what they're called. I forget the specific archetype, but like yeah. All I want is slash kick. She's not going to have it because that was like in one game out of like 50. But I want the slash kick. The wall bouncing slash kick. It was so fucking stupid. Yeah, but that's Yuri. When is this coming out? Okay, we don't get it. Never mind. There's no yeah, we don't know. Just summer. Actually, hold on. Let me check Steam. Actually. Art of Fighting 3R. Does it have a Steam page? Doesn't seem to have one. Let me check Steam Grid. Steam Grid DB. Offering 3. Mythology 2. No, it doesn't seem to have one. Okay, so at some point during the summer, the game may or may not come out. That's all we got. It's fucking sick. Okay. How much time do I have? I might have time for one more before I have to end stream. Let's see. You know what? This one would be relatively quick. So, I wanted to pause it at the logo. Okay. Jesus Christ. I should not have jinxed myself. Okay, so I have to leave. I have to end stream. I immediately fucking jinxed myself when I said that shit. Okay, so yeah, no, I have to go. Stream will be back up in, or rather, I'll continue this stream in like 3, maybe 4 hours later. So see ya then. I gotta go. Bye. Bye. Wait, who's live? I can at least send you somebody. Can't send you the edit because he's asleep right now. So who's live? Oh, Meche, not playing an SNK game or a mecha game. Crazy. Or a retro. I mean, Mario 64 is retro. That should count, right? Oh yeah, no. Okay, Meche is the only one streaming, so go on. Go say hi to Super Meche. Super Meche, she's good people. She likes SNK, so she can't be a bad person. She loves SNK. She's cool as hell. There you go. Alright, bye. Where's the button?